Is your own life story feeling like it's being edited by someone else? Does it sometimes seem like the script of your days, especially now, is quietly being rewritten with demands and expectations that leave you feeling drained, overwhelmed, perhaps even a little lost? It's a strange paradox, isn't it? The wisdom and experience we gather over the years should bring more peace, yet often it feels like the demands only intensify. We're told that this chapter of life is for embracing who we've become, for finding joy in the paths we've forged. But what happens when the people around us, sometimes those we love most, start asking for pieces of ourselves, our time, our energy, our resources, even our very identity, in ways that disrupt that hard-earned peace? Today, we're going to talk compassionately but clearly about 5 kinds of requests that, frankly, no one has the right to impose upon you, especially now. Because understanding this isn't about building walls. It's about cultivating a garden, your inner garden of peace, and knowing what nourishes it and what simply doesn't belong there. Recognizing these patterns isn't selfish. It's essential self-preservation, a vital act of self-awareness. And the moment you start tending to that garden with intention, everything can begin to feel different, more aligned. Stay with me as we explore how to protect your serenity without losing your compassion. First, let's talk about carrying emotional baggage that isn't yours. There's a profound difference between offering a listening ear and becoming the designated carrier for someone else's unresolved problems or chronic dramas. You've likely learned that deep empathy, caring about someone, doesn't obligate you to carry for them. Yet, how often does that line get blurred? Imagine someone constantly being called upon to absorb the anxieties and stresses of a loved one's life. One person might listen patiently, offer comfort, but then gently redirect, suggesting professional help. They show care, but refuse to take on the emotional weight as their own. Contrast this with someone who dives headfirst into solving everything, becoming exhausted and neglecting their own needs. Carrying burdens that aren't yours depletes your precious energy reserves. Here's how to set a boundary with kindness. Recognize when support tips into shouldering responsibility. You can say things like, "I care about what you're going through, and I'm here to listen for a short while, perhaps 15 or 20 minutes, but I can't take this problem on as my own." Suggest other resources. True support empowers others. It doesn't just transfer the weight onto you. Second is the sensitive issue of funding lifestyle choices disguised as crises. That heavy silence when a loved one asks for money, not for a genuine unforeseen emergency, but to cover the costs of poor planning or habitual overspending. The pressure, the guilt, your family you have to help, can feel immense. Consider someone facing frequent requests for loans. A helpful approach could be offering support in other ways. While I can't offer a loan right now, perhaps we could look at budgeting resources together. Contrast this with someone who gives in every time, dipping into their own hard-earned savings, feeling resentful but fearing conflict. Lending money, especially when you're relying on your savings, is rarely just a transaction. Here's a practical approach. Decide your policy beforehand. Maybe you only lend for true emergencies. Maybe you offer non-financial help. Practice saying no gently but firmly. "I wish I could help, but I'm not in a position to lend money right now." Protecting your financial stability isn't selfish, it's responsible. If you're finding this discussion helpful or it's resonating with your own experiences, Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps support the channel and ensures you don't miss future conversations like this one. Thank you. Now, let's move on to the third point. Third, let's discuss being drafted as the unofficial family judge or mediator. Oh, the gravitational pull of family conflict. Mom, you need to talk to your sister. Suddenly, you're thrust into the role of referee in disputes you didn't create. While wanting peace is natural, becoming the central hub for grievances is exhausting. Think about a situation where adult children are bickering. One way to handle this is to listen briefly, validate feelings, but then firmly state an intention to stay neutral. This is a matter between the two of you. I won't be taking sides. The alternative is getting deeply involved, relaying messages, absorbing everyone's anger, and often becoming the scapegoat. Attempting to mediate deep-seated family conflicts often places you squarely in the crossfire. Actionable advice: clearly state your intention to remain neutral. Encourage direct communication. Set boundaries on venting. You can say, "I love you, but I cannot be in the middle of this conflict. Your peace matters more." Fourth is the subtle but damaging request to remodel your authentic self. It often starts small. You shouldn't wear that color. Why do you still listen to that old music? Beneath the surface, the message is often, "The person you are makes me uncomfortable. Change." Imagine someone whose style or hobbies are critiqued. One response is to smile and gently reply, "Thank you for your thoughts, but I like this. It brings me joy." Alternatively, feeling pressured, a person might start suppressing their stories, changing how they talk, risking losing touch with themselves. You have spent a lifetime weaving the tapestry of who you are. How to protect your authenticity. Recognize these suggestions for what they might be. Politely but firmly assert your right to be yourself. "This feels right to me." Surround yourself with people who celebrate, not critique, your authentic self. Your desire to remain true isn't stubbornness, it's integrity. Finally, perhaps the most insidious request, demands to dim your light for their comfort. "If you really cared about me, you wouldn't do something that brings you happiness but makes them uneasy." The underlying message? Your happiness is inconvenient. This isn't love, it's control. Consider someone finding new joy, but a loved one implies they are being selfish. A healthy response is kindness paired with clarity. "This activity is important for my well-being. Let's find another time to connect." The opposite involves downplaying your excitement or plans to keep others comfortable, shrinking your own life. Expecting you to minimize your joy is an unreasonable burden. Practical steps. Identify this pattern. Validate your own feelings first. Communicate your needs calmly. "This brings me happiness, and I deserve to experience it." It's okay if your choices make someone else uncomfortable. That's their feeling to manage. Finding balance means respecting both your needs and theirs without self-erasure. These 5 areas, taking on others' burdens, funding lifestyles, mediating endless conflicts, pressure to change your core self, and demands to prioritize others' comfort over your own joy. They all share a common thread. They subtly or overtly erode your inner peace. And that peace, especially now, is perhaps your most precious resource. Look compassionately at your relationships. Who asks these things of you? Why might you be saying yes when it costs you so dearly? Remember, caring doesn't mean carrying, and protecting your peace is not selfishness. It is clarity. It is strength. It's about honoring the life you've lived and the person you've become. You are not obligated to be an endless rescuer, a perpetual bank, a lifelong therapist, or an emotional shock absorber. You have permission, indeed you have the right, to establish boundaries that protect your well-being, to honor your own needs, and to choose peace. This isn't about shutting people out. It's about creating sustainable, respectful relationships where both your needs and theirs can coexist healthily. It's about finding that nuanced balance. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these points resonated most deeply? Have you developed strategies for protecting your peace while still maintaining connection and compassion? Share your experiences and insights in the comments below. Your wisdom benefits everyone in this community. I read every comment, and your voice truly matters here. If this conversation brought you value, and you haven't already, please subscribe and perhaps share it with someone else who might need to hear this message. We need these reminders to stay centered and strong. Until next time, please take gentle care of yourself and protect your peace. It is the foundation upon which a fulfilling life is built.